Let's look at recording SMP in Sage Payroll. To enter the Statutory Maternity Pay from the Summary tab, or the Pay Runs tab, click Process Pay Run. Check your pay date is correct, then click Next. Step 2 of your pay run is where you enter any statutory absences. You'll see historical and current absences listed here. Historical absences should remain here and should not be deleted. Deleting these will cause a correction to be added to the employee pay run in error, as the system will assume they shouldn't have been paid to the employee. To start, select the relevant employee from the list on the left. Then, from the Add Absence drop-down, select Maternity. Enter the child due date here. This should appear on the MATB one or other documentation provided by the employee. If you have received the MATB one, from the drop-down select Yes. The qualifying week is shown here. This is the 15th week before the due date. The average weekly earnings are calculated using the 8 weeks prior to the qualifying week. Enter the start date of the maternity. This is the very first day of maternity leave, and the SNP calculations will start from this date. Enter the end date of the maternity leave. This is the projected date the employee would like to end their maternity. This can be amended later if the date changes. If the employee has been automatically enrolled, both the employee and the employer must pay a percentage of earnings into the scheme. Earnings include SMP. If you need to check these settings, please contact your pension provider for guidance on your scheme. To save the maternity leave settings, click Save. Once you're happy with the absences entered, and to move on to the next step of your pay run, click Next. You can see the statutory maternity pay here. This is calculated automatically on a weekly basis using the current rate. If you'd like to check the weekly rate for the current tax year, visit gov.uk or our help centre. If the pay date falls in the middle of the SMP week, the week will not be paid in this pay run and will be carried over to the next pay period instead. Please note, Payroll will not amend your employee payments automatically when you enter an absence. Therefore, please amend these manually. If you want to pay maternity pay only, set all other payments to 0 during the pay run. If you have a company arrangement to make up your employee's usual salary during their maternity leave, reduce their usual pay by the SMP amount. If required, you can manually enter the statutory maternity pay here. However, this means you are not paying the amount automatically calculated by Sage Payroll. If you're not sure what value to enter, we recommend you check with HMRC or your accountant. To move on to the next step of the pay run, click Next. To view the maternity leave on a draft payslip, select the relevant one from the list here. To view the information on the detailed report, click here. This report shows statutory payments in Section 1, the Employee Payslip Summary. Statutory payments also appear in Section 5. This is your liability totals. The year-to-date amounts for statutory payments are shown in Section 7. This is the totals for the current tax year only. Once you're happy with your pay run values, and to submit these to HMRC, click Complete Pay Run. All employers can recover some, if not all, of the statutory maternity pay that they pay to employees. If you're classed as a small employer, you can recover 100% of the maternity pay, with an additional 3% in small employers relief. Your company qualifies for small employers relief if your national insurance contributions were £45,000 or less in the full tax year before the employee's qualifying week. Otherwise, you can recover 92%. If you're unsure whether you qualify for small employers relief, you should check this with HMRC. The SMP reclaimed will reduce your liability for that pay period. You can see the reclaim and the small employers relief in lines 10 and 11 of the P32 employer payment record. You should report the maternity reclaim using the employer payment summary, also known as the EPS. You can check and send your EPS from your completed pay run screen or the Summary tab. Send this once the tax period is complete. This informs HMRC of the reclaimed amount. The EPS submission is covered in a separate video. You have now learned about statutory maternity pay and how to enter this into Sage Payroll. For more videos, help and guidance, please visit our Help Centre by clicking Help at the top of your Sage Payroll, or visit Sage University.